Welcome back students in our this session, and today I am going to teach you the next phylum, that is phylum Chordata, and it belongs to the vertebrates. This phylum Chordata belongs to the vertebrates. Now, as the name suggests, the chorda means cord or string and eta means bearing. So these are the cord or string bearing organisms or animals. Now chordates, they have a stiff supporting rod-like notochord in the mid-dorsal axis of the body. Now as I said that the chordates, they have a stiff, means it cannot be movable, it is a stiff, and they have a supporting rod-like notochord. Now notochord means, children, that they have a cartilaginous skeletal rod that helps in supporting the body of these organisms. So these chordates, they have a notochord. I'll again repeat. If you want, you can write it here. Notochord means a cartilaginous skeletal rod that gives support to the body of these organisms. So they have the notochord in the mid-dorsal axis of the body. Now all vertebrates, including men, have a notochord in embryonic life. Now all the vertebrates are, children, the one having the backbone. Yes. So all the vertebrates, including the men, they have a notochord in their embryonic stage. Now as I said, the embryonic life, it means the developing age, the early stage of development. Now we see few points related to chordata. First is presence of dorsal hollow nervous system. In all the chordates, the nervous system is present, and the nervous system which is present in the chordates, it has a dorsal and hollow. Then presence of tail in most chordates. In chordates, there is a presence of tail. Next point is, children, presence of two pairs of limbs. All the chordates, they have the two pairs of limbs for the movements. Then vertebral column forms the main axis of their internal skeleton, which may be of bones or cartilages. Now this vertebral column is present in the main axis, and it may be made up of bone or cartilaginous bone. So this is all about the chordates. Now we see that phylum Chordata is divided into 5 other classes. Now what are those 5 classes? First is class Pisces. Second is class Amphibia. Third is class Reptilia. Fourth, class Aves. And fifth, class Mammalia. So these are the 5 classes in which the phylum Chordata is divided. Now we see the first class, that is class Pisces. So first we discuss about the class Pisces. Now the first point for class Pisces is adapted to aquatic life and include all fishes. Now under this group of Pisces, children, all the fishes come under this one particular class, that is class Pisces, and it is adapted to aquatic life, as the fishes, they survive only in water, so they adapted the aquatic life, and in it includes all the fishes in this class. Then second point is heart is two-chambered. Their heart is two-chambered. That means that the heart which they have, it has 2 chambers only. Then third is respiration through gills. Children, this we all know that the fishes, they respire with the help of the gills. So the respiration occurs through gills only. Next is cold-blooded or poikilothermal. Now cold-blooded, these fishes are cold-blooded animals. Next is body covered with scales. Now if you have seen the fishes, you might have seen that their body is covered with small scales. So the class Pisces, in the organisms, the fishes that comes under this group, they have the scales on their body. Then fins for locomotion are present. You all have seen the fins also. These fins, they are present in the fishes and they help in their locomotion. For swimming in water, they use their fins. Now we see the examples of this group class Pisces. All the cartilaginous fishes, for example, electric ray, then stingray, then bony fishes and seahorse. These are the examples of this class Pisces. Now you can see the picture, the diagrams you can see here. There is a dogfish, that is a scalodon, then electric ray fish is here and stingray fish is here. So all these have their tails and they all have their notochords also, and all these come under this one particular class, that is class Pisces. Now children, we come to the next class, that is class Amphibia. Now as you know that amphibians are those animals which are able to live in water as well as on land also. So the first point is they may be aquatic or terrestrial, means they can live in water or they can live on land also. Second point is their skin is rich in glands which keep it moist for the purpose of exchange of gases. Now the skin of these animals, there is a gland, the skin is rich in glands, and these glands, they help in keeping their skin moist so that they can do the exchange of gases. Then respiration takes place through the skin or lungs or lining of buccal cavity. Now in this organisms, in the amphibians, the respiration takes place only with the help of the skin or lungs or with the lining of the buccal cavity. Then heart in amphibians is three-chambered. Underline this, that the amphibian's heart is three-chambered. Now the upper and the lower eyelids are immovable, means their upper and lower eyelids, they both are immovable. They cannot move that upper and the lower eyelid. Then a third eyelid called nictitating membrane is present. Underline this children, that a third eyelid called nictitating membrane is present in the amphibians. Now they are oviparous. Now as I said, oviparous, that means it lays eggs. Underline this also children, and you all have to learn these points, like that amphibians, they are oviparous and they have a nictitating membrane. A third eyelid, that is known as nictitating membrane, is present in the amphibians. Then fertilization is external. Now examples, you have to learn only the simple names like frog, toad, salamander. These are few examples of class amphibians. You can see here in the diagrams. The first diagram is of frog, second diagram is of toad, and the third diagram is of salamander. Now children, our next class is class third is reptilia. Now as the name suggests, that all the reptiles, they came under this class. The first point is the skin of reptiles is rough and dry, covered with epidermal scales. Now all the reptiles, their skin is rough and dry also, and it is covered with epidermal scales. Second point is respiratory organs are lungs only. In reptiles, they respire only with the help of lungs. Then the heart is incompletely four-chambered. Underline this also, children, that in reptiles their heart is incompletely four-chambered. Now they are unisexual and oviparous. Now as I said oviparous, that means it lays eggs, and fertilization is internal. Next point for reptiles is the reptiles are cold-blooded or poikilothermal and undergo hibernation during winter season. For example, lizard. This lizard, they hibernate during the winter season, and in summer seasons you might have seen that there are so many lizards came in the summer season. So one of the example of this reptilia class is wall lizard.